anything other than using it for training actors and facilitators in the future. Is that cool with everybody? Yeah? All right, awesome. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. I know it's bright and early here, 8 a.m. Dawn loves the 8 a.m.
They're actually really,
200.
believe it or not, they're very vocal people.
All right, good. Good. So good morning and thank you for having us and welcoming us to your class. My name is KJ. This is my co-facilitator.
My name is Rebecca. Hello.
Rebecca, yes. And we're here with the interACT Performance Troupe. I know a couple of you have seen us. That's awesome. We just want to say that we're going to be performing for you all this morning, and we're really happy to be here. So first and foremost, interACT. We started here at Cal State Long Beach in the year 2000, okay? And since 2000, we have performed a variety of different shows on various topics. Some of those topics are racism and homophobia and stalking. Today we brought you our sexual assault prevention performance, and this performance has been taken to places like juvenile lockdown facilities and housing projects, domestic abuse shelters. We've been to high schools and colleges and universities all over the country, and for about a 2-3 year period, we were the primary rape prevention program for the entire Navy fleet. So we took this performance to Navy installations worldwide. It's always a pleasure to be here in Com 200, especially Don's Com 200 class, and always great to be on our home campus with all of you. So I said we are interACT, so our performance today is going to be different than traditional theater that you're probably used to, right? Like traditional theater, you have the actors up on stage, the audience members in the seats, and there's a clear division between the two. But with interACT, we are going to obliterate that division. So we literally are going to be co-creating this performance with all of you this morning. All right, so just so we're all on the same page, we didn't come here at 8 a.m. to perform for you. We're here to perform with you. We're here to perform with you. All right, I don't know if it was better the first time. All right, so that's right. We're here to perform with you, and really the quantity and quality of your contributions this morning will make our 8 a.m. to 9:15 on a Tuesday better. So we're looking forward with you this morning. All right?
I think I'm pretty good Tuesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. students. I'm just kidding, KJ. Sorry.
All right. Anyway, let me hand it on over to Rebecca to go over a little bit more.
All right, so I'm just going to go over a little bit of things to keep in mind for our performance today to keep the show running as smoothly as possible. So number one, for information, we will not be enacting any violence on stage here today. We know that there's enough of that out in the real world, and we don't need to see it here today. The second thing is, as KJ said, yes, this is an interactive performance. So that means that enthusiastic participation is more than welcomed and needed for our show. But with that said, we're not going to purposefully embarrass you. So there are no right or wrong answers. Nothing you can do up here is wrong. We just want effective and authentic interventions. That is what we want for this show. The last thing I have to cover is if you come up on stage to intervene, please do not touch our actors. We kind of need them for future shows, just a little bit. All right, so with that said, I believe that's about all I have to cover. So just one question for you, and I need the energy up here. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's get started then. Actors on stage, please. All right. And scene.
Whoa! What a night, baby! Woo!
Hey man, that was dope.
Oh yeah.
Yo man, how'd you get us in there, man? Well, you two are looking. This is about a $100 bill.
Yeah. Like $10 to get in?
Bro, you got robbed, son. Anyway, man. Yo, that $100 man got me that booty for days.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I had to pull out my calendar and make sure I had enough time for it, man. You know what I mean?
I saw that for sure.
Yeah. Bro, why you lying, bro? You didn't see that, man. Where were you all at, man?
Yeah, I was at the bar, doing my thing. I got a girl I can look, but I can't touch.
Or you're like, Tyler, you saw you. That's what I'm saying. What are you laughing at, man?
What?
What was that dance you were doing?
Oh, dude, this one gets all the ladies. It's like,
Oh my God, bro. Look, hey man, that's why Michael Jackson's dead, bro. You gonna die a virgin too, bro. Yo, I need some drinks after this. What you got for me?
I got you right here. Some Mike's Harder lemonade, because we go hard. Right there.
I think you're missing something, bro. A little umbrella or something?
No. Yeah.
Whose idea was this? Your girls?
Come on, we went out the other week, we bombed together, yeah. All right.
Should have guessed. Here we go. Anyway, man, as long as we got alcohol, we're good, right?
Alright.
Cheers, fellas.
yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, it's 3 a.m. I'm so sorry. We gotta go, bud. Thank you for having us over.
Wait, hold on. We just got here, bro. Where are you going?
I got a thing really early in the morning. I really gotta go.
Yo, one drink. Here we go. After the club. Come on.
No, come on. I really gotta go.
Where you gotta go, man? Where you going? It's so important you can leave your boys, man.
You're just gonna laugh at me.
We're not gonna laugh, bro. What you got?
Alright. Remember those tickets I got a few months ago?
No.
Nah, bro.
I got tickets. I got tickets. For Star Wars Con.
That's got.
Oh, you doing the Princess Leia or what? Yeah, Princess Leia, bro.
You know what's better than that? You got a DUI, and I'm your rival. So come on, we got
Bro, that's a little.
Yo, Jerry, come on, man.
You always point, man. That's what it
Come
do,
on,
man.
man.
Hey, we'll catch you later, man.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, this is cute. This is funny. I see what's happening when you guys are gonna stroke each other's lightsabers or maybe show each other the force. Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening?
What you, me now or?
You know,
You Comedy Central? What's going
I'm
on?
working on it.
Hey, check it out. Hey, I'm working on some jokes too, man. You ready? I got one.
All right.
Very good. Your relationship. Hey, you know how that's funny though, man?
Why?
Because it works every time, bro. Where's your girl at, man?
She's out with the ladies. It's guys' night, ladies' night. We're all just having fun.
Ladies' night again?
Yeah.
Wasn't it ladies' night Monday night?
Tuesday,
Wednesday night?
Thursday,
Bro, your birthday was ladies' night.
Easter.
Come on, man. Yo, hey, man, who's she out with,
She's
man?
out with Bianca.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's wrong with Bianca?
BJ Bianca, bro. You know how she got a nickname, bro?
Yo, that's Bianca. That's not my girl. I trust my girl.
Oh, okay. You trust her enough to buy her cell phone, right?
Yes, I did. The iPhone 7 Plus.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
let me stop you right there. That thing's got 4G LTE network,
sir.
dual lenses on the cameras, you can take pictures, zoom in like CSI, man.
Oh, bro, hey, Geek Squad, why don't you go over there and take some selfies, bro? Look, man, what do cell phones do? Basic.
Alright, phone calls, text messages.
Did you get any of those tonight from your girl?
No, I did.
Exactly, so what did I tell you right there?
Alright, hold on. Let's hold this up. You know, clubs these days, made out of concrete, can't get a signal out of there. Like the president's bunker. Maybe she just doesn't have reception. No reception. I got you.
That's right, bro. Yo, man, the only place you don't get reception in the club is in the back of the VIP getting that bottle service.
Yo, come on, man. How you not disrespecting my own house?
Hey,
like
homeboy,
that,
the
bro?
only person disrespecting you right now is your girl for not being here, man. Okay, come on.
Hold on. What do we do after we go to the club?
Get food.
We get food.
Right.
Those are human
Right.
too.
Oh,
They
that's
gotta
right.
eat. Maybe they're just stopping for a snack. You know, it's like Taco Bell. Your Subway's open 24/7 these days.
true.
That's right, Subway's open 24/7 getting that full-on meatball sub,
Yo,
son.
man, why you gotta do the same thing every week,
Hey,
man?
why do you think you gotta be the same thing? I'm your boy, man. You better back up, homeboy.
Sure, let's go.
Hey, man. You better back up, man, and talking. I'm trying to tell you, man, you're not getting through your thick skull, man. You over here buying your cell phones. Who paid for that TV right there?
Alright, I did.
Okay, you probably paid for rent too, huh?
Yes, I do.
All right, so then, what did I tell you, right?
Well, okay, what do you want me to do then?
Bro, you gotta grow some balls, man. Hey! I said back up, man. Be a man, dog. Get your dog on a leash, man.
Alright.
She's running circles around you, man.
Alright, I'll talk to you. Is that what you want me to do?
Oh, okay, yeah, because talking's working the pass for you, right?
What are you trying to get at?
Yo, it doesn't work, man. Okay? You gotta grow some balls, be a man. Tell her what's up, get her on a leash, man. She's treating you like your dad, or your broke ass dad. Hey! I said back up, man. I'll bust the face in. You're getting walked around like a floor mat, man.
I'm not a foreigner, man.
Yo, you're more of a sugar daddy than a boyfriend,
I'm not
man.
sure. Man, you talk this game. Where's your girl at,
My
bro?
girl's exactly where she needs to be, bro. At home waiting for me. Okay, come on, man. Your daddy was a broke ass dad, and you're lagging it, man. You gotta step up, man. Come on. What's wrong with you, dude?
Alright, Jerry, again, man! Yeah, she's out there spending my money, disrespecting me. It's time I put my dog on the leash. When she goes tonight, I'll show you, and I'll show you. I can't wait till she gets home.
Yeah! Why? I see it. It's why?
That's right.
Everybody out.
What you said?
Did I stutter? I said out.
And your business, man.
Sit down. I said, sit down. You're out there, dressed like that, with a— Shut up! I'm talking, and you're listening! You're making me look like a punk in front of my friends. I am not a punk. I hope you have fun tonight, because this will never happen again.
And scene. Alright, if I could get my actors out for my first scene. Alright, everybody. So that's our opening scene, and we want to just kind of talk about this just a little bit. And doing so, I want to introduce two theater terms you've probably heard of before: protagonist and antagonist, right? Somebody tell me what a protagonist is? Yeah, right here.
The major character.
Okay, the major character, and what'd you say? Okay, yeah, the major character that tends to be the person of good value, the hero, the person that we're rooting for, is what we'll call the protagonist. And the antagonist?
The one who attacks the protagonist.
Okay, yeah.
An individual who's like the source of conflict.
Okay, yeah, so the person opposite of the protagonist, the person that's the source of conflict, right? So the villain, that bad character. Okay, so just to make sure we're all clear, in the story of Peter Pan, who is the antagonist? Captain Hook, all right. And the protagonist would be probably Peter Pan. All right, so we're all clear on that. So in movies and television series and even novels, it's often really clear to recognize who the protagonist is and who the antagonist is. But in everyday normal life, it's kind of hard. There's a lot of gray area. It's not so clear and easy to recognize. So we just want to go through these characters collectively right now and just see what you all think. There's no right or wrong, but just see what you think. If they're a protagonist or an antagonist. We'll start right here with Michael's character. So Michael's character right here. Raise your hand if you think he's a protagonist. Yeah, all the way to the back. Yeah, why?
Because he seems to be like the main source of the story.
Okay.
He's like the lead.
Okay, he's the lead, main source of the story. Yeah, right here.
I would say he's like the kind of the center of the story, but also the one having a turning point. In the
Okay.
story as well.
Okay, so he's the main person. He's having a turning point. A little complex. Okay. Anybody see him as an antagonist? Yeah, right here. Why?
Because he switched up and when first he was starting out as a good guy, being good to his girl, and then he was easily
Okay. Okay, so she said he switched up. So he kind of started as a good guy and then he kind of easily manipulated and did wrong at the end. So you kind of see him as an antagonist. I want to kind of keep going with what you just said right there. How many people think Michael is maybe a little of both? Like he's protagonist and antagonist because he had this switch here, right? So what caused him to switch from protagonist to antagonist?
His friend.
His friends, right? So maybe this guy right here in the middle, Jerry, kind of caused him to switch. Okay. Right? Good. So we're talking to people right now, and I know you're kind of thinking about your careers, right? Where you're trying to go after college. So you're training right now and getting education to be leaders in the community, leaders in your job someplace. Right now, somebody who's easily manipulated. Is that somebody you want, like being the boss, the manager, the CEO? Somebody in charge of you? No, that's not a leadership quality. Somebody that's easily manipulated specifically to do wrong, right? So we're talking about leadership a little bit today, and we can see he is not showing signs of leadership. Thank you, Michael.
All right, so after we've spoken about Michael, I want to take a minute to talk about Jerry's character right here. So once again, I'm going to pose to the audience, who thinks that Jerry was more of a protagonist in this scene?
Anybody?
Anybody?
Tough crowd.
All right, so then it's safe to assume with a show of hands that everybody thinks that Jerry's an antagonist? All right, can you explain why?
He was just like trying to talk to his friends, thinking his girlfriend was doing bad stuff, even though he was like, oh, nobody trusts her.
Okay, so he was implanting some thoughts into Michael's head, maybe. All right, any others? Yeah.
He also doesn't seem to treat his friends very well. I feel like maybe if he did have like concerns about his girlfriend taking advantage of him, he would talk to him in a different way. And then with his other friend, the way that he was trying to intervene, he was like yelling at him and saying, oh, men are talking, kind of implying that he's not a man. Right. I feel like friends would.
So from what I hear you're saying, you think he might have had some concerns for his friend, but he did not go about addressing them in an effective, positive manner, right? Okay, so what you bring up about this character right here is actually a good segue into a discussion about Chris's character. So thank you very much, Jerry. You can step back.
Yeah, so with Chris's character, how many people think he's a protagonist? Yeah, right here, right over here in the aisle. Yeah, why protagonist?
Because he was trying to defuse the situation, but wasn't able to because Jerry was threatening him, and so he doesn't want to put his own life at risk.
Okay, so he's trying to defuse the situation. Is that why a lot of people, the hands were up, feel like he's a protagonist? He's trying to diffuse. Was he effective? So diffusing is like he's trying to reduce the conflict. He's trying to make things better. Was he effective at diffusing?
No.
No. All right. So he was not effective. Let's rate him on a scale of effectiveness, or let's make it assertiveness. So on a scale of assertiveness, 1 being Chris was not assertive at intervening and being diffusing the situation, and 10 being he was really, really assertive. Just on your hands, show me where you feel like he follows on that continuum. So I got a 1, I got a 2, I got a 3, I got a 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3. I don't know, Rebecca, what do you think?
I'm no mathematician, but I'm gonna say like a 3.5.
3.5. All right. So we're about a 3.5. So you all are communicating to us that there was more that he could have done. He could have been more assertive. He could have diffused this a little bit more effectively. All right. Fair enough. So we all know that we, as individuals, we change depending on the situation. One situation we're really assertive. Another situation maybe we're more passive. So what we want to do right now is we'll follow Chris. Let's follow Chris into our second scene. All right? And I just want you to watch Chris as well as the other characters in the scene, but watch him to see if he changes at all. If you feel that he still stays at 3.5 on assertiveness, or maybe he changes, and let us know afterward kind of how you feel he developed, if he did at all. All right? And all you need to know about this second scene is it takes place the following Monday, and we are at work. And scene.
Good morning, Chris.
Hey.
Guess what I got you?
Huh?
I got you the Grande Unicorn frap. I had to fight like 2 girls for it.
It looks magical.
I know, right? All right, listen. Speaking of magical, you did not watch my Snapchat story of my magical weekend this weekend. What were you? Well, come on. Are you kidding me?
It's more exciting if I hear it from you in person, really.
Okay, I'll take it. All right, so this weekend, me and Taylor went up to Beverly Hills. All right, she was in this little tight number, and I was looking real cute. And there were so many rich, cute guys. Oh my goodness!
Nice.
But most importantly,
Yeah.
I got her to take a shot.
Oh, no way!
Yes!
So awesome.
See, you could have shared that magical moment with me if you watched my Snapchat story. All right, what were you so busy with this weekend?
Well, you obviously didn't watch my Snapchat story either, because I was at Star Wars Con. They had the original stunt double for Boba Fett there, and they had so many of the R2-D2 props with all the sound boards
Hey,
built in.
Chris, I'm gonna get off this train because I never signed up for it. All right, it's okay. Listen, I got bigger things to worry about right now because Taylor and Michael are driving me insane. Okay, Taylor just like I love him, I hate him. She just stayed with it, and I'm just like so stressed out, and it's like almost finals, and I just can't deal with it anymore.
Bianca.
What?
Taylor's gonna walk in any minute, and we're gonna look like idiots.
She's not gonna walk in. She's like what, like 30 minutes late?
She's not
She's gonna come in and hey, Taylor, she's here. I told you.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, tell them all about the weekend.
Oh, I heard it was amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, there is something I want to tell you too.
Oh my gosh, Michael got her that new puppy. He's been showing me pictures of this thing. Squeeze!
I'm so excited.
And it's a
Oh my
rescue
goodness.
on top of that.
Yes, that's not it.
What's going on?
The other night, after you two left, I think Michael may have forced himself on me.
Hold on, Taylor, you're saying forced. Like Michael raped you. Michael raped you. Oh my goodness, did you take a shower? Yeah, I'm gonna get you a rape kit. We'll call a lawyer. We'll call your mom. Chris, where are you going?
I don't really feel comfortable talking about
You don't feel comfortable? She just got raped and you don't feel comfortable?
it. It seems more like a girl's thing.
A girl's thing? No, this is a friend's thing. Sit down.
Really, I should just...
Chris, sit. I'm gonna have to drag you back here after she tells us she just got raped. Are you kidding me? Okay, no, everyone calm down. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, okay? Okay, all right. Square one. Taylor, you and Michael, you two have had sex before. What was so different this time?
I don't know, he was just so angry.
Angry? You know who's angry? Rapists are angry, okay? Rapists are angrily just raping everybody out there, okay? I knew that he was always angry whenever he eats his chips and he's just a little bit too loud, okay? Look, oh my God, Taylor, if I was there, I would have done something. I would have helped you. I would have said something. Hey, Chris, you were there that night. Why didn't you do anything?
Michael's my friend too. I don't really want to...
Michael's your friend. You're friends with a rapist? And Taylor's not your friend now? Come on.
Taylor, you really want to know what I have to say?
Yes?
Yeah.
I only were out with Michael that night, and he was practically chained to his phone at the bar the whole time. I mean, he just got you that new phone, and he didn't get any calls or text messages, any
Chris,
checkups.
she got raped because she didn't send a text message?
That's not what I said.
No, that's exactly what you're saying, okay? It's 2017. Women can go out and do whatever they want. They can drink however much they want. They can dress however they want. Wait.
I own a calendar. I get it. It's 2017, right? Girls can do whatever they want, wear whatever they want, dress however they want. But Taylor, that really only makes sense when you're single. You have Michael now, and if I was your boyfriend, I'd be mad too.
And this is why you don't have a girlfriend, Chris. Are you kidding me? You're blaming her for everything.
You wanted to hear what I had to say.
Well, I didn't know what you were gonna say was garbage.
But why'd you even call me back here?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, you know what? I'm out of here.
All right, bye. Jeez. Okay, Taylor, he's gone. And here, tell me everything.
I don't know.
Taylor, it's okay. Sorry. It's okay. You can tell me.
I don't know, Bianca. I just don't know.
And scene. All right, everybody. So there's our second scene, and as promised, I want to go back and revisit Chris's character. So earlier you rated him a 3.5 on assertiveness. So did he change or did he stay the same? What'd y'all see? He changed. How so?
I don't feel like he's a good guy.
Okay, you don't feel like he's a good guy anymore. Okay. All right. Anybody else said that he changed? I heard a couple of whispers. Yeah.
He was very, I don't want to deal with it, that's not my problem.
Okay. So he's not a good guy anymore. He's very much like, I don't want to deal with it. That's not my problem. Now, he's Taylor's friend right now. So what implications does that have for our survivor now that he's like, I don't want to get involved? You know, what implications does that have? Yeah.
Well, I feel like he's just uncomfortable with talking about it.
Okay.
But then, as a victim or as a survivor, I guess,
Okay.
it could obviously have negative effects on their friendship. But I
Okay.
mean, it's not bad on him. He just doesn't really know how to handle it. And it's just bad because this situation is happening right now.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is a tough situation. Absolutely, no doubt, right? This is a tough situation. But let's just really think about this as we have this moment, right? So he doesn't want to get involved. He doesn't know what to say. He's kind of trying to be dismissive. Now, just think about our survivor here right now. What is that doing for her? How does she interpret that? Yeah.
Well, she's gonna have that fear of rejection, so it's gonna be
Okay.
harder to talk about it the next time. And
Okay.
It's like walking away.
Yeah, so fear of rejection, she might not want to talk about it next time. She might not want to bring it up again anymore. Survivors tend to turn to their closest friends first, and how their closest friends respond in that moment has a huge impact about how they're going to develop or come forward later. So that's going to maybe silence her a little bit. And honestly, this is a tough situation for anybody to be in, like Chris, but we all need to know that this could happen, and that's why we're here this morning, right? So just kind of knowing how to respond is kind of something we're working on. So good. How many people felt like he stayed the same? Yeah. So in what way, or what do you mean? Okay, so he could have done more. He just didn't. He really just wasn't being there for our survivors. Kind of what you're seeing in this situation, and we can see that that's not very helpful for our survivors. So Chris probably isn't being the most help right now. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good.
All right, so now let's take a look at Bianca's character. Bianca, could you please step forward? So how about in this scene? I'm going to kind of go back to protagonist and antagonist just to kind of reiterate that. So was she a protagonist in this scene? What do y'all think? Why is that? I see you nodding your head.
I think she wanted to help her friend. She wanted to help her, and she obviously wanted to keep him around and hold them accountable in the friendship.
Right, so you think that she was trying to help her friend and trying to encourage Chris here to also help. Okay. Any other comments about Bianca as a protagonist?
I feel like her intentions were definitely in the right place, but her being over emotional and over dramatic could have kind of intimidated her and made her kind of just be quiet. And at the end, she calmed down, and sat down and was like, "Tell me what happened." And she should have done that way in the beginning instead of just being dramatic.
Right, okay. So I hear you saying a lot that she was being dramatic, overreacting. So how many of y'all have people in your own life that react sort of like how Bianca did, that they're just pure drama? A lot in here? Can I get a show of hands? Okay, cool. So a lot of people have someone like Bianca who's a little bit dramatic, right? So if you didn't raise your hand, maybe it's you who's dramatic. I don't know. I'm not making any assumptions, but okay, so point is here, we think that maybe she had good, solid intentions, that's what I'm hearing kind of from both of you, was not very effective in getting them across to our survivor, yeah? Okay, all right. So for this moment, I actually want to focus in on our survivor's character a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Chris and Bianca to leave the stage. And Taylor, if you could please take a step forward right here in the middle. So what do you all think? Do we like the way that she's being treated in this scene? No. Do we want to see things change for Taylor?
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a moment to really delve into what Taylor might be feeling right now in this moment. So to do that, I'm going to introduce to you one more theater term, and that's the term residual antagonist. Residual antagonist. So what that is are those negative voices that someone might be hearing in their head that may cause feelings of self-doubt or may cause a person to not achieve a goal, right? So these are not very helpful voices, and they're just ringing in someone's head. So to give you an example, to kind of give you an image of what this looks like, I'm going to give you the example. Pretend you're back in high school, and you're going to be applying for college soon, but your grades aren't the best, right? So you go and talk to your guidance counselor to get some guidance, and your guidance counselor tells you, you know, I'm not sure about your grades, I don't think you can make it in college, it's not looking good for you. Flash forward back into college now, you're about to take a big exam or turn in that big paper, and you start getting these voices ringing in your head once again. I'm not sure if you're good enough for college. I don't know if your grades are strong. I don't think you're going to make it. These are what residual antagonists look like in action. They're those negative ringing voices.
Yeah, another example might be in a case of domestic abuse. We also see residual antagonists definitely in cases of domestic abuse where, let's say in a heterosexual relationship, the man is in prison. He's incarcerated for being physically or verbally abusive to a significant other, right? So even though he's locked up and she's now safe, she still might be hearing those negative things that he once said to her now, even though it's been a great deal of time that's passed since he said that, and now there's a great distance between them. Those voices really carry with people through time and space, right? So do we understand this concept of these residual antagonists, these negative voices?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. So let's now apply that to our girlfriend character, Taylor. So we know that Taylor now has just been sexually assaulted by her boyfriend. Somebody that she loves, somebody that she trusts and cares about. So, knowing that, what might be some negative voices that she might be hearing in her head right now that aren't very helpful? Yeah?
That it's her fault.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe the first voice is, it's your fault. Can you remember it's your fault for me? Cool, thank you.
There's nothing she can do because it's her boyfriend, and that like maybe have these preconceived notions that because they've been intimate before, because they love each other, that there's nothing she can do. Like she's kind of stuck with that, like it'll be hard to go forward with that.
Okay, so maybe the voice is saying, there's nothing you can do. Can you remember there's nothing you can do? Thank you. You ever hear?
Maybe I shouldn't have put myself in that situation.
Okay, so maybe the voice is saying you shouldn't have put yourself in that situation. Yeah, can you remember that? You shouldn't have put yourself in that situation? Good.
Any other voices?
Any other voices maybe from this side? Anybody? There's no right or wrong.
What do you think she's hearing in her head?
Oh, we got
I see one in
somebody-
the back.
Yeah, way in the back, yeah.
Because it was her boyfriend that they used as a cow.
Okay, so it wasn't rape because it's your boyfriend? Is that what you're saying? Can you remember it wasn't rape because it was your boyfriend? Please, thank you.
All right, so I think we're hearing a lot of voices that Taylor most likely is hearing in her head right now, but we still haven't heard that number one voice, the number one reason why survivors of sexual assault might not report. Can anyone give me that voice? Right here. No one's going to believe you.
There it is.
No one is going to believe you. Can you please remember that for me? Okay, thank you.
Right, if you think about that voice, no one's going to believe you. That's really powerful. That actually is all of these voices are silencing survivors from coming forward and reporting or telling anybody, right? But if you think about that one, that's one's really powerful. Think about all the people in your life. You have your friends, your family, people, all of your people on social media, your classmates, your professors, right? You have all these people in your life, and you don't come forward and tell anybody because you're afraid that not one of them is going to believe you. And that's why this crime of sexual assault remains to be one of the most underreported crimes. One of the reasons why, right there. So thank you, and thank you for the 3 other people that gave us those voices. What we're going to ask you right now is if you were one of those people that gave us a voice, and we asked you to remember, if you could just please stand up for us, that would be awesome. Maybe 5 of you. Perfect. And we're going to invite you, come on down, we're going to invite you up on stage. everybody. If we can just kind of keep sliding over to our left, just kind of line up. Perfect. All right, so welcome to stage. How's everybody doing? Thank you for coming up. Here's what we're going to do, all right? So we all now have our voices. What we want to do is, I'll start with you. What is your name? Doe. Can you just step down for me, please, Doe? All right. So what was your voice again?
It wasn't rape, it was your boyfriend.
It wasn't rape, it was your boyfriend. Now, Doe would never say that to a survivor of sexual assault. But what we need out of Doe, and we need out of all of you up on stage, is we need you to become these voices. So I'm going to start with you, and if you could just create some nonverbal frozen image that you feel goes with your line, right? It could be this, it could be pointing, it could be arms crossed. There's no right or wrong. On the count of 3, I'd just like to see that, if I could, please. Just out to the audience, does not matter. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. There it is. Awesome. You can come out of your image and you can go ahead and join the rest of the folks up there. Perfect. Sorry, so she just did that so quickly. I'm going to have the 4 remaining of you to create some nonverbal frozen image that you feel goes with your line. Make sense? So let's see those. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, you can come out of your images. All right, so everybody has an image. Now what we need is you to, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to place yourself around the girlfriend character in kind of like a horseshoe type of formation. And I want you to place yourself close to her if you feel like your voice is really loud in her head, and then further away if you feel that it's maybe quieter. There's no right or wrong, obviously. So go ahead and place yourself accordingly. There's no right or wrong. All right, move these chairs. All right, perfect. Perfect. All right. So if you could just hold that for me real quick. And now I want to address the audience. Now, this is going to be the only time that we're going to ask you to remain completely silent. In our entire presentation, this is that moment where we need complete silence. And that's for 2 reasons. First reason is the 5 people up on stage did not know when they came to turn in their paper this morning that they're going to be up on stage in front of all of you performing this scene. And this takes a lot of focus and concentration for them. So to be supportive allies, just please hold that silence. Second reason, and most important reason of the 2, is that we know that their statistics on sexual assault are alarming. What the research tells us is that 1 in 4 women are survivors of sexual assault. Think about that, 1 in 4. Now that is outrageous. That is shocking if you've never heard that statistic before. 1 in 4. And what that means to everybody in this room is that we all have a woman in our life that we love and that we care about that's a survivor of sexual assault. Each and every one of us. This affects all of us in this room. Right? So I don't want you now to picture Taylor as an actor on stage. I want you to picture her as a woman in your life that you love and that you care about. So who is this woman? Is this your mom? Is this your sister? Is this your girlfriend? Your best friend? All right? So can you all do that for me? Picture her as a woman in your life that you love and that you care about. Now, the 5 of you, I don't need you to picture her as a woman in your life that you love. I need you really in a moment just to get into those images, and you're going to repeat your line over and over towards the girlfriend character. And just to make sure, can the 5 of you do that? Comfortable doing that? Okay, great. And again, we're going to be supportive and hold that silence. All right? So why don't you all get into your images? Perfect. And on the count of 3, just start repeating your line softly. 1, 2, 3. And a little bit louder. A little bit louder.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
And freeze.
All right. So in a moment, I'm going to come around and tap each of you on the shoulder. And this time I want you to come out of your image and say your line 1 time so that way the back of the audience can hear.
It's your fault.
There's nothing you can do. You shouldn't put yourself in this situation.
It wasn't rape, he's your boyfriend.
No one's gonna believe you.
All right. Thank you. So I want you to think back to that last scene with Taylor and her friends. What was the last line? What was the last thing that Taylor said in that scene? I don't know. That's right. I don't know. Well, you might ask, how can a survivor of sexual assault not know that they've been sexually assaulted? If she doesn't know that she's been sexually assaulted, maybe it didn't happen. These are the things that we hear from society in response to a survivor from sexual assault. However, what we've just illustrated from this scene is that when you're speaking to a survivor of sexual assault, you're not just speaking to a person. You're speaking to each and one of these voices up here. And we only brought 5 voices up. We could have brought 10, 15, 20, 100 voices up here, and it probably still wouldn't be able to illustrate exactly what is running through Taylor's mind in this moment. So it's understandable that she may not know what happened, and it's really important to recognize the immense amount of courage and bravery it takes to come forth and report.
Absolutely. So we just had a female identified survivor. Are men survivors of sexual assault?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that approximately 1 in 10 men are survivors of sexual assault, and a large percentage of that happens when these men are like boys under the age of 13. But we do know that adult men are sexually assaulted as well, right? We know that actually college-age men, or men actually in college, are at a higher risk of being sexually assaulted than men that are not in college, and that there's a large percentage of men in the military that are survivors of sexual assault. But if we have a male survivor, are there additional voices other than these 5 that he might be hearing in his head? What might some of those voices be?
You're weak.
Okay, you're weak. What else? What do you think?
Less masculine, I guess.
Yeah, so you're not masculine, or you're not a man, or maybe the voice is saying, this doesn't happen to men, right? Because there's a big myth out there that people think this doesn't happen to men, or maybe that voice is now questioning the man's sexual orientation, right? So we can see that there might be some additional voices for male survivors, and it is a very real situation, right? We also know that the LGBT community, the LGBTQ community is affected by sexual assault as well, most definitely. We know that statistically, approximately 1 in 8 lesbian women, 40% of gay men, and about 50% of bisexual women and men, and about 1 in 4 transgender, genderqueer, or non-conforming identities are survivors of sexual assault as well. So we know that this reaches into those communities most definitely. And there's additional voices that they might be hearing in their head that we didn't bring to stage. Some of those voices might be, don't tell the police, they're going to out your sexual orientation, they're going to doubt your sexuality, maybe they might physically retaliate against you, or physically abuse you, or make fun of you, whatever those voices are, right? So what we want to illustrate again here is whoever this survivor is, whether they're female-identified, male-identified, member of the LGBTQ community, we know that these voices are very real in their heads, and they're sending conflicting mixed messages, and causing the survivor to be very confused as to what happened, and make it really challenging for them to really move forward with reporting or talking about it or telling anyone. They make this really challenging for a survivor. So hopefully you can see the tremendous amount of courage that it takes for a survivor to come forward and report because of all these voices. Okay? So does that make sense? All right. Awesome. Very good.
So at this point, I want to give a round of applause for all. I'm going to ask you all to go ahead and leave the stage for now, but please remember your lines because we will be coming back to them later.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so at this point, we're going to come back to the first scene. We're going to revisit the first scene, specifically Chris's character, right? Because we want to talk more about that rating, how we rated him at a 3.5 of assertive protagonist. That's not a really good rating. I don't think I would want to be a 3.5 in this type of situation. So what I want to pose, the question I want to pose to you all, is we said that he was a 3.5 as an assertive protagonist. He was not very assertive in intervening in what we know, what was about to happen in this scene. So I want to ask you all, the audience, what would you do differently in this scene? What are some strategies that you could use if you were in Chris's place to intervene in what you knew what was about to happen? What are some strategies? Right here?
Even though he's receiving those threats, to kind of be the voice of reason for his friend and say, like, listen, you just need to talk to her and you don't need to get so heated about it. Or,
Okay, so you would talk directly to the friend character right
yeah,
here?
through the threats, directly to the friend.
Okay, can you remember that for me? All right. What other strategies?
What else can we try? What else can we try, everybody? So we know now what a survivor is going through. Let's try to prevent this, assault from happening. What could you do if you see this escalating with your two friends to be an 8, 9, or 10? Yeah.
I would probably grab someone else to kind of help me diffuse the situation.
Okay. grab an ally for you. Good, good. What else? Yeah, right here.
I would have him stand his ground against the guy who's imposing on Chris to do the wrong thing.
Okay.
Because he knows him, they're friends, so he knows his character and all that stuff. So I think he would have been able to actually steer him down and tell him, hey, you have to shut him back up and that's it.
Okay, so if you were Chris, you would tell him to stand his ground, or you would stand your ground?
No, I would stand my ground against.
Okay, is there anything you would say to him specifically?
To be quiet and to just let it go, because it's not his business.
Okay, so we have now a person addressing Michael, we have a person addressing Jerry, awesome. What else? What else? Yeah.
I feel like he could have messaged the girl too, since he's her friend, and tell her, hey, maybe you should spend the night at your friend's house tonight.
Okay.
And then try to talk to his friend when things are smoother and
Okay.
the water's
Okay, so you would be Chris, and you would kind of over here, maybe like texting. Hey, maybe you need to stay somewhere. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. All right. So these are great strategies, right? These are four good ideas. We never know how they're going to work, right? Other theater troops, what they would say in this moment is like, yeah, all right, good. Go at it. Here's our card. Let us know how it works in the real life, because we know you are going to be put in a situation like this. Other groups would just let you try it and email them later. But here with interACT, we want to move to that highest level and practice and rehearse for real life. Just like the military trains for combat, just like athletes practice for their games, right? We need to rehearse for real life, because we never know how it's going to play out. We never know how we're going to respond until we're put into that situation, right? So what we want to do is just ask the four of you, you've kind of gotten it by now, like how we work here with interACT. So if the four of you, if you could just please stand up. You gave us a strategy. Please stand up, and we're going to invite you up on stage to try out your strategy. Awesome. Right over here. Let's see here. We can have maybe. Yeah, we're going to have you go first. Okay. We're going to have you first. Come on over this way. All right. Awesome. So we have a small little stage. I'm going to just kind of ask you, since you're all, maybe just move just a little bit that way, please. Perfect. All right. And here's what we're going to do. So the four of you, we're just going to give you about 30 seconds to try out your strategy. And we're all here to support you. And audience members, you are not off the hook. Just a heads up. If they get stuck, we're going to ask you what they need to do. So you're coaches right now. So don't just fade away and be too comfortable, because we might be calling on you. So just be ready. All right? And for the four of you, when you're up on stage, if we could just have you try to like cheat out, is what it's called, or face out of the audience, and try to speak loud so everybody can hear you. In normal life, we would face Michael this way, but nobody can see you. So let's just try to speak loud and show everybody our faces just a little bit. We'll ask you your name and we'll jump right in. All right? So what's your name?
Eric Perdue.
All right, Eric. And what was your strategy one more time?
It was to talk directly to, it's Michael?
Right, Michael, yeah. Michael and Jerry. Okay, so talk directly to Michael. All right, so I think we're almost ready to get started, but audience, you want to give some support to these four people? Yeah. All right, so the four of you have support. You got this, all right? All right, Eric, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Scene.
Yo, your boy's laughing at you behind your back, man. Come on, stop being a little punk,
What
dude.
you want me to do, bro?
Well, obviously,
Michael, he's not even in your relationship. You don't need to worry about what he thinks of you and your girlfriend. You can just handle your situation on your own, and he can go handle his situation.
that's right. I'm going to handle my situation.
I've tried that in the past, and honestly, the last two cheated on me as well. I don't know what to do.
Well, that's a conversation you need to have with your girlfriend, not with your friend.
I mean, I wish I could, but she's not here. Do you see her?
She's never around. That's the problem.
You're your own man. You gotta wait here, and you gotta calm down. You gotta get us out of the situation. You gotta diffuse yourself so you can diffuse the situation.
No, man. He's here trying to help me. I think you're not even a real friend. That's all that's happening right now.
His girl's running circles around.
Yeah.
What would you do in that situation?
Yeah, what would you do?
I would leave her.
You would leave her.
I've been trying to tell you that this whole time, man.
Good. You know what I do like is he's coming up with other solutions that aren't leading towards violence, that aren't leading towards sexual assault. I mean, even where we ended with "I would leave her" is better than going and forcing yourself on her, right? So calming her down or calming him down, telling him other strategies, and then if it's all just you need to walk away instead of getting violence. I really like that. Nice work, Eric. That wasn't clear. Awesome. Let's bring our next person on. And what was your strategy?
I was just saying that then I would like reach out to the girl and tell her.
Right.
You should just,
You're gonna kind of sneak over and text the girlfriend not to come home.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough. And what is your name?
Jennifer?
Jennifer. All right, Jennifer, you ready?
Yeah, do I just, like,
Well, just kind of come into the scene.
Okay.
We'll start the scene and then you can try to judge you or whatever you want. All right? And sing.
Yo, she's probably over there at Don Techo's getting that chorizo burritos.
Come on, he's supposed to be my boy.
I'm your
Yo,
boy, man. That's why I'm right
Yo, what are you
here.
doing over there? What are you doing over there? What's good? What's happening?
See, she's texting her boyfriend just like your girl should be texting you, man.
Yeah, you're right,
Hey,
man.
Right? Show him to let him know.
Yo, what are you doing?
I don't think you should let him direct you. I feel like maybe it's not safer for Bianca to come home tonight.
No, it's totally fine for her to come home. I don't even know where she's at. Do you know where she's at? No, you don't. So I don't know what's going on right now.
He has to put her in her place. She's not listening.
She
See what
doesn't
time it
have-
is?
She doesn't have to listen to him. She's not married to him. And even if she was, she doesn't.
Come on, man. What kind of advice is that?
That is no help.
Hey, I'm gonna call freeze right there. All right, coaches. You have some really good lines. She doesn't have to answer to him and those sorts of things. What now could she say here? Yes.
When they asked if she was texting her boyfriend, she could say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go call my boyfriend right now," and like step out, and then actually call her.
Okay. Okay. Good. What else? Yeah.
It's, she's my friend too, so I'm gonna step between you and step aside and just let her know that you're heated, and I'm gonna tell her maybe spend the night. You guys can talk tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good. Anybody else? All right. So you have two strategies. You want to try that? We're going to throw you back into it, and I want you to kind of now say one of those two things. Remind us again of what it was.
Me?
Yeah.
When they ask if you're gonna call your boyfriend, go out and call her, or text her.
Okay. And then she's my friend too, and I need to make sure that I'm keeping her informed as well. Type of strategy. Okay. So we'll start right there. We'll start with Michael maybe asking you, what are you doing? All right. And you're going to use one of those two. Sound good? All right, Jennifer, you got this. Scene.
Yo, what are you doing over there?
I'm texting your girlfriend because I don't think it's safe for her to come.
Oh, you're texting her? Well, I've been trying to text her all night. She's not going to answer you either. Don't even worry about that.
Well, I don't know.
You want me to call her?
I mean, you could try, but she's not going to answer. I'm just telling you. I'm just calling her all night, text her all night, man. I'm just so sick and tired of this, man.
Well, then maybe you should just break up with her.
Scene. All right. Good. All right. So I really like that strategy of texting. Like, let's get some information out. I think that's a really good creative strategy. Maybe there's not more that you need to necessarily say other than like I'm texting her and I'm letting her know, and they can really say all the heck they want, but you kind of making sure that she's safe and she knows kind of what's happening here. I really like that strategy.
And even if the text was there on her phone, she would see it.
Right.
Even if she wasn't answering at that time, she would see the text on her phone, and that's still an effective way to intervene.
Awesome, very, very good. All right, bring in the next person. I just remembered that you wanted to bring in an ally with you, right?
Yeah, I didn't know if people were
Yeah, let's do that. Do you know anybody here that you'd like to bring up on stage? Yeah, you do. Let's bring one up. All right. And what is your name? Andrew. You are so lucky this morning, aren't you?
Can I talk to Bubba?
You can call me Bubba.
All right. So, and your name? Kirsten and Bubba are up here. Okay. And so you're now allies. You have now an ally up there with you. What was your strategy just to bring an ally, right?
Yeah, just to bring it out.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's have you both step in. And you ready?
Yeah.
Scene.
Man, why does the guy do the same thing every week, bro? Why always gonna attack me like that?
Oh, you tell me, man. Your girl is never here, man.
Hey, Jerry, you need to calm down, man. Just take a breath. We've all been drinking too much. Just relax.
Yo, Bubba, handle him. Get him.
Hey, he's about to handle me like you need to handle your girl, man.
Yeah, you right.
You're
Yeah,
gonna have a date with Bubba. Go on, get out of here.
Well, we need to help this guy right here.
No. He doesn't need help. He'll figure it out.
Come on, he's just trying to be a good friend right now. Why y'all leaving me like that?
Dude, relationships are based on trust. If you don't have the trust, then just end it.
And scene. All right, we see 2 is pretty effective. 2 is better than 1. I really like that strategy. I thought that was a brilliant idea. Let's not forget that, everybody. Keep that in our back pocket, Going 1 against 2 can be challenging. If you bring an ally, maybe it's 1, 2, 3 other people, you're more likely to be able to handle that. I mean, they could have taken a step further, getting between them and separating them a little bit more. So having an ally is a great strategy. So thank you for bringing that up to stage for us this morning. All right, let's bring our last intervention up. What is your name?
Hadessa.
Hadessa? What was your strategy again?
So standing down.
Okay, stand Jerry down and talk to Jerry. All right. Very important. So come on in. We're gonna run this and try this out. All right. Scene.
Yo, man, you're more of a sugar daddy than a boyfriend.
Come on, man. Hold on now.
Jerry, we gotta go.
Where we going?
Because it's none of your business.
Hey, what's it called? Hey, I haven't seen you in so long.
Yo, can everyone get out, please? I want everyone out right now.
After party at my place?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Wait. Cut. I didn't.
Yo, did I stutter? I said out of my house right now.
Come on. I'm okay.
Babe, tell them.
I don't think it's fine. Like, we're fine. I'm home. Yeah.
We're good. My bad. You know, I came off a little strong. My bad. You know, I'm good. I'm good.
No, he's good.
Right?
Come
I'm
on.
good?
Yeah.
I'm good.
He's got to handle business.
Guys can
Let's go.
I'll see you later.
All right, let's pause it right there. Who said no?
This was not my idea. When I said standing down was when he told me to back up, like
Right.
we were arguing, and he kept
Right.
saying we need to go. And then he says, leave me alone, I need to talk to him. That's what I meant by staring him down, not
Sure.
to like inflame the situation.
Sure. And I know we threw a little curveball your way.
I didn't expect like
No, and you know what? There's always going to be something in this situation that we all don't expect. Would we agree?
Yeah.
And I just threw a curveball your way. You kind of were, getting that and receiving that. But I want to use this as a moment to talk about this. So I'm going to ask Jerry and Bianca to step off. I want to bring you in. Is it Hadessa?
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody said no, you don't want her to leave. Why? Yeah.
Well, it's going to be the same exact situation that happened before, and I get that she wasn't expecting it, but like you
Right.
said, situations are never planned.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so as soon as the situation changes, our strategy has to change as well. And so,
Yep.
although he was the problem, that's not anymore. Now she's the problem in a way because
Okay.
she's trying to diffuse the whole situation. So I would be like, hey, no, Taylor, I need to
Okay.
talk to you really fast before I leave. It's really important. Like, please just give me a moment of your time.
Okay.
She says no, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to text you something really important. You need
Okay.
to read it.
Okay.
So that would be fine.
Okay, good. And I know just to have your back, I know that you didn't want to leave. I saw you. I even saw you say it. You were like, whoa, no, no. I saw that you didn't want to leave. This is an important part for all of us to really acknowledge, right? Because we all, and Hadessa knows, we all know that what's going to happen if we leave, but it's uncomfortable to stay. We don't want to stay. So what are some of the reasons why we want to leave, we leave, right? I just said it's uncomfortable. What are some other reasons? Yeah.
Well, he was in her face,
Okay.
the eyes in your face, and you don't know. But I was also gonna say though too is maybe leave and then come back.
Okay.
If you feel uncomfortable in that situation, leave for a minute and go outside with them and regroup with your
Okay.
friends, and then come back in
Okay.
to with a game plan.
Okay. Yeah. What are some other reasons why we leave? Yeah.
I feel like maybe because you might feel like it's not your business.
It's not your business. Yeah, maybe it's dangerous. It's uncomfortable. It's not your business. Do you
I
have another
would
reason?
have had trust in my friends that if they said that they were okay, that I'm going to believe them because they haven't
Okay.
proven me wrong.
Okay. So trust in your friends. But what if this is the one time that they do prove you wrong, right? So she says it's okay. Do we believe her that it's okay? No, we don't know. I mean, maybe I can't tell you that you don't trust your friends because it sounds like you do. But this is kind of a tricky situation right here. And really what we want to do is we want to trust our intuition. So as Hadessa, we want to trust that we saw the look on her face, and I even heard you say it, you don't feel like it's okay to leave. So we want to trust that, and we want to stay. And that's why we're here today, is to get all of you to stay in this situation. So we know it's uncomfortable, dangerous, we feel like it's none of our business. What creative, safe strategies can we just brainstorm really quickly about getting us to stay in that moment? What can we do to stay? Yeah.
I would have given an ultimatum you can come back with me, you don't have
Okay.
to stay here.
Okay, get Taylor to leave. Okay, what are some other things? Yeah.
Just sleep over at his house.
Okay.
I'm really tired.
I'm really tired. I gotta crash out and sleep. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, that they've been drinking so they could drive home.
Yeah. I can't. I've been drinking. I can't drive. Maybe I'm drinking. I gotta pass out. I fell asleep. Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say white lie, oh, I can't drive yet. I gotta hang out for a couple more minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So all of those things, let's watch TV. Let's order some food. I can't drive. All of those creative, safe strategies to get you to stay. It's kind of like that little bit of a lie, a little bit of a fib. that can get you to stay. So we're going to actually give you a chance to try that out, just to try something to get you to stay, because I know you want to stay, and we're here to support you, okay? So we'll just go ahead and start from Michael kind of telling you to leave. Okay? Scene.
Yo, can you get out of my house, please?
Actually, I need to use the bathroom.
Oh, okay, there's one downstairs.
And I'm gonna stay because I'm kind of sleepy.
Excuse me, this is...
I don't want to get a DUI. Hey,
I'll call you-
no, you are my friend, remember?
I'll call you an Uber then. I got you, don't you worry about it.
Call me an Uber?
Yeah, I got you, no problem.
Okay, we'll order some pizza.
I'm not hungry.
And scene. All right. And Hadassah was going to go through the laundry list right there. She was like, she's like, restroom, I'm intoxicated, pizza, I feel like it was Netflix, like, I don't know what was coming. But she was going to run through that list, and
I
that's
think maybe
it.
at some point he would have, if he was really her friend, he would have been like, okay, she obviously wants to hang out with me or something like that. So that was
Right.
really a safe and creative way of
Right.
intervening in this situation.
Absolutely.
And as we saw from everybody else who intervened in this situation, all those actors who came up here, really nice job. We want to remember that the key takeaway here, I would say, is to be an active bystander. That means that you do try in any way possible to find these safe, creative, even if you feel not so good doing it, it's important to stay, to intervene in the situation, regardless of what it is. So great job on that. Really effective stuff. I think.
Yeah, and another thing to kind of line for y'all to remember is standing in between every predator of sexual assault and every survivor of sexual assault is all of you. And we expect you, and Long Beach State expects you to stay and intervene in those situations so we can bring down these numbers of sexual assaults. And whether that be get an ally, find some creative strategy, there's no perfect solution, but we expect you to try something. And y'all did a great job role modeling that for us, and Hadassah did a great job of finishing with those creative strategies. So thank you all very much. Let's give all of you Good. Now let's bring out Chris and Bianca and Taylor, and let's revisit this scene now. All right. So we now understand a little bit about what a survivor is going through. We now know that we need to intervene. Now let's revisit this second scene here right now. Okay. So we're going to replay this, but we're not going to call you up. I promise. We're not going to call you up right now. So you're safe. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to replay it, and any time that you feel that Bianca or Chris says something or does something that you feel is inappropriate or not supporting a survivor, we want you to raise your hand and say freeze. Let's practice that together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Freeze. All right, if you don't say freeze, you are accepting the maltreatment of a survivor of sexual assault. So make sure that you say freeze when you see something inappropriate. That makes sense? All right, let's go from the top. Scene.
Force like rape? He raped you!
Freeze.
All right. Why did you freeze right over there? Yep.
Oh, she's she wasn't very sincere to her situation. She made it really over dramatic, so she probably the victim probably didn't want to share it enough because she's too.
Okay, so you said that she's being over dramatic?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, got it. Right over here.
And he shouldn't be like walking away like.
Right, so right now, our survivor's disclosing to her friends, and they're not really supporting her in a good way, yeah? She's being over dramatic, he's walking away. What do you think we could do to make this better? Just one, what do you think? Right here?
I feel like instead of like walking away, Chris could try to calm down Bianca instead.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to just bring a point right here. Hey, so if you're in a car accident and you're like really hurt, it's a really bad car accident, do you want the EMTs running up to you, go, oh my God, you're hurt, you're bleeding, oh my God. No, right? That's ridiculous. So why are we having this person overreact in this moment? This is not obviously helpful, and that EMT would not be helpful in that situation for you. You wouldn't want the EMT to be like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do, I guess I'm going to leave either, right? So we need somebody to kind of follow that line and match more of a nice supportive energy is really what we're seeing here. So yeah.
I feel like you could aim your focus on the residual antagonists with her and be like, that's the thing we're going to kind of fight against together.
Okay.
Rather than, because otherwise you're setting up this dynamic of like, let's scream at him.
Okay.
But if you're like, let's fight the individual ones.
Interesting.
That can
Interesting.
go back down.
Okay. Good. Very good. Let's keep going. From here. All right. And scene.
All right, so you said no, right? Like you told him like you didn't want anything.
Freeze.
Okay, I got a freeze. Yeah, right here.
Well, she was automatically questioning what she was telling her, she was saying that, like, are you
Right.
sure it was rape? Are you sure? Instead of just
Right.
like telling her, just explain to me what happened. She's questioning her intentions and what actually went on.
Right, yeah.
And even if she didn't say no, it doesn't mean it wasn't.
Right. Say that louder.
Even if she didn't say no, it doesn't mean it wasn't rape.
Absolutely, right? That's a key part here. Both of you are right, and I want to speak to that right there. This is bringing up the issue of consent. I feel like a lot of people in our culture are misinformed, or there's myths surrounding what consent is, and really important thing that we need to talk about, right? So it's not it's not if they didn't say no, okay? That's not consent. It's did they say yes, and were they able to say yes? All right, so consent is defined in California as affirmative consent. And hopefully you've heard of this before. If you have, just a reminder, affirmative consent is, consent that is obviously affirmative, so positive, right? It's mutual between all parties involved. It's conscious decision, right? It's a decision that is voluntary from all people involved. It's a continuous decision. So affirmative consent is what we're looking for here. A lot of people just say, oh, well, she didn't say no, so it wasn't rape. No, it probably still was rape, right? You need to get a person to affirmatively say that they are consenting in this sexual activity. Just to be clear, a person can revoke consent at any time in that sexual activity, right? And just to kind of go over when a person can't consent affirmatively, they can't consent if they are incapacitated by drugs or alcohol. Right? They cannot consent if they're a minor, meaning they're under the age of 18, or if they've suffered, say, a traumatic brain injury, or they have some type of mental disability. They cannot consent if they've been threatened. So if somebody comes to you and says, I'm gonna hurt you unless you have sex with me, you can't consent right there. Even if they say, I'm gonna hurt somebody in your family unless you have sex with me, legally you can't consent. Also, you can't consent if somebody's abusing power. Right? So like a boss abusing their power to an employee, a teacher abusing power to a student, a coach to an athlete, you can't consent in that situation either. So it's really important takeaway to remember, it's not did they say no, it's did they say yes affirmatively, and were they able to say yes. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Let's keep going. Scene.
I mean, you were wearing that low-cut top and that...
Freeze. Okay, freeze. Yeah, right here. Why'd you say freeze?
You can't judge them based on what they're wearing to incite some provocative look, I guess.
Absolutely. A lot of people vocalizing that freeze on that moment. Yeah, sexual assault is one of the only crimes or only violent crimes that we know of where people immediately start questioning the survivor for their actions. We immediately start saying, well, why did you go back to his place? Or why did you flirt with him? Or why were you dressed like that? Or why were you drinking alcohol? Or what was your sexual past? We ask all these questions about the survivor, and we really don't ask any questions about the perpetrator, which is the main problem. The reason why this is a problem is because why sexual assault happens to begin with. So I want to make a distinction between two different types of arousal that we have as human beings. Okay? So there's sexual arousal, and then there's power arousal. Sexual arousal is that normal, healthy, mutually liking somebody, respecting the other person type of arousal, right? That's sexual arousal. Power arousal is what sexual predators feel over other individuals. They're not aroused by what somebody's looking like. They're aroused by having power and control and being able to dominate or instill fear into another human being. That's why this crime happens. They're aroused by that control, the fear, the domination. Really, really important distinction to make for everybody here, right? So a lot of times we get confused because sexual organs are involved. So we think it's about sex. It's not about sex, right? If I came in here and took a baseball bat and beat Jerry over the head with it, you wouldn't say, oh, that's baseball, home run, KJ, right? No, you would say that's assault, right? So just because sexual organs are involved, let's not get confused. This is a crime about power and about violence and about instilling fear in other individuals. We see it again and again in quotes of convicted rapists talking about putting fear and power and having control over people, right? This really is a predatory crime. So these people, these individuals that are committing this crime actually are seeking targets that they appear to be vulnerable, and they are going to now seek to isolate and now control that target. There's really a continuum of this crime. You think about the continuum, the myth out there is that all sexual assaults happen from this stranger rape. The stranger hiding in the shadows, jumping out and attacking somebody. That does happen, but a very small percent. You're more likely to be sexually assaulted by a person that you know, a person walking to you to your car, than a person hiding in the parking lot, right? So it's a really important distinction. So there's that extreme, but there's also predatory behaviors, say, somewhere else on the continuum, like feeding somebody alcoholic drinks, that are really sweet that they can't taste the alcohol in it, with the purpose to incapacitate them so you can take control and have power over them. That's right there. That's a predatory behavior. I just heard from an acquaintance of mine that a person was given drugs, with roofies, or giving some type of drugs in their drink so the person could incapacitate them in that way. That's what this is a predatory behavior. This is what people do. There's also on the continuum of having somebody, you're trying to have sex with somebody and they're saying, no, I don't want to do it, and you push the no. You don't accept the no. Yeah, you do. It'll be fun. Yeah, no, I don't want to. Yeah, come on. You said you wanted to earlier. I said no. Yeah, you do. No, that's pushing the no, not accepting the no. That's control. That's power. People are aroused by that. So you need to really be mindful of why this crime happens altogether. Okay? Good. Let's keep going. Scene.
Okay, but you fought back, right? Like, you're a strong woman. I know you did.
All right. Why did you freeze?
She's still questioning her. She's not actually listening, being quiet, like, okay, let's hear you act. The questions keeps going. She hasn't said anything yet either.
Right, so questioning, blaming is still occurring right here. And specifically, they're talking about her response to the situation. Right, so we know that there are 3 completely natural and evolutionary responses to dangerous situations. And those are, you've probably heard of them: fight, flight, freeze. That's right. So fight, physically fight back. Flight, run. Freeze, you literally stay frozen in a situation. Now, I want to make it known that there is no wrong response to reacting to a sexual assault. These are completely natural and evolutionary. They are to protect oneself. So we should never blame a survivor for what she chooses or what she did in that situation, right? But what we know from the literature and what we want to equip you with today is that studies have shown that forceful resistance strategies, so that means fighting back uncontrollably, kicking, screaming, scratching, just imagine if you throw a cat in the bathwater, kind of how that reacts, like that. These are the most effective strategies of getting out of volatile and dangerous situations. And this kind of goes back to what KJ was talking about a little bit earlier with power arousal. If you show through fighting back that you're not weak and that you cannot have control taken over you, then that puts, the predator off, right? Because they don't have that power anymore. But again, so these reasons, the fighting back and everything like that, this is why here in our troop, we do equip our female-identified members with Krav Maga self-defense training, and that's to encourage and empower this responsive fighting back, because we know that they are effective, even when there's a weapon involved.
Yeah, Don.
I just wanted to share something along with what you're saying. I was talking to Dr. Rich about this. This article came out about a woman who was running and somebody attacked her. And she kept repeating out loud as she fought him off, "Not today, motherfucker, not today, motherfucker, not today, motherfucker." She beat him off, locked him in a bathroom, and called the police, and he was arrested. And so that strength of that mentality is just, you can't underestimate that.
Right. I actually read that article as well. I saw, and there was some pictures as well that she had bruises and blood and everything, but she still used that forceful resistance strategy, and it was effective in that sense. So again, there is no right or wrong answer, and we really want to reiterate that to you, but it's important to be equipped with this knowledge because it could save your life.
Good.
Okay?
Good. So you all keep freezing it. I know we're running out of time. I want to kind of go to one last thing here. So what does Taylor need from friends right now that she hasn't gotten yet? Support? Listening? Okay. Would you two be willing to come on up and show us what support and listening looks like? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So real quick, support, listening, comfort, somebody to be there for her. So we want to enroll you two to be her closest friends. She's just disclosed that she's been sexually assaulted, and there you are to be supportive and listening. So what were some of those residual antagonist lines from earlier when you were on the images? What were they?
It's your fault.
It's your fault, and like he's your boyfriend was one that I kept bringing. All right, so let's say like he's my boyfriend. It could be rape. We'll start with that one, and then you two are supportive friends. Okay, scene.
But he's my boyfriend. Like my boyfriend can't rape me. No, sit down.
Just sit down and we'll listen to you. Like whatever you need to say, we're gonna listen. I don't really want to. Okay, then just tell us what happened.
I don't know. I'm so confused.
It's okay to feel like that.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here. Okay, good. So this is our hardest scene in our whole show. Just want to highlight that. I think you're both coming up here with like honest, you're trying to help the survivor, and I just want to point something out because how they're reacting in this moment is how we all would react in a lot of ways. And then I just want to point some things out that maybe aren't as effective and as helpful. Okay, number one. Okay, not to critique you, but sit down, sit down. That is very similar to what the boyfriend did. Number one, right? And I know you kind of we're like, oh, okay, yeah, well, we're here, right? So just be mindful that a person feels like they've just been robbed and violated. They just felt like somebody's had power over them. A lot of times we want to just kind of like, what do you need type of situation, right? Number two, in our culture, and I always have to remind myself about this. In our culture, what do we want to do when we're faced with a problem, everybody? Fix it, right? I want to point out that this is not a problem that you're all going to fix right now, all right? You are not trained psychologists. You are not therapists. You are not going to fix this right now. Remember, like you said earlier, the survivor has these voices in her head right now. So let's not try to say, tell me what happened, and try to come back and try to fix, because that's not what they need right now. What do they need? You both said it. They need someone to listen. They need comfort. They need support. So what does that look like? So let me I'll unroll you. If you could just tell me a line that you would say to your closest friend that told you that they were sexually assaulted, to let them know that you're there for them, that you comfort and support them. What would that sound like?
I'm listening.
Okay?
I'm listening.
I'm listening. Okay, good. How about you?
Whenever you need, whenever you have to tell someone something, we're here for you.
Good. Now that is really different than like combating it and fighting against that. All right. So let me just have the whole class just as in general. If the survivor says no one's going to believe me, what are we going to say in that moment? So Taylor, as a class, I want you to respond to this. Taylor, if you could just say that for me.
No one's gonna believe me.
I believe you. All right. So I believe you. Can we all say that together? 1, 2, 3.
I believe you.
All right. Remember, that's what a survivor needs to hear in moving forward is I believe you. If you don't take away anything, you need to believe these survivors. All right. So thank you, the two. I know we ran over. I apologize. I just want to say that concludes our show. Thank you so much. Just
And
remember
troop auditions.
We want you to take away what we just went over today. And lastly, thank you, Don. We have auditions for Troop this Thursday. Troop is a class. We have a sign-up sheet in the back. Troop is a class that you receive units for. It's a great opportunity to get involved in comm studies in the campus community. You don't need any training and any acting experience. If you thought this work was interesting and you're interested, please sign up. I'll be here to answer any questions that you have. Thanks, everybody.